Welcome back, Rich Minds. It's your boy Reno, coming back to you with another video. And today's topic is gonna be your enemies are humble. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder for my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, your enemies are humble. Okay? Now I need y'all to realize something. I know I said that God said for you to shut up. I know I said that. And that was true. But now it's time for your enemies to shut up. Yup. It is time for your enemies to silence. It is time for your enemies to hush. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Because your enemies, they were arrogant. Your enemies thought they were better than you. Your enemies thought that they could destroy you and destruct you. Okay? Mentally, physically, financially, emotionally. All right? In all ways, family. However, right now, what you are witnessing is how your enemies have to be humble. Okay, your enemies have to hush simply because you are the chosen. All right, for those who are chosen, go ahead and drop it in the comments real quick, family. Just real quick, y'all. Y'all go ahead and drop that directly in the comments, right? Now, as y'all can see, family, we are outside on our stroll, on our walk, y'all, as well as connected with nature too. But more importantly, family, health is wealth. Y'all drop that down below in the comments too. Got to get the steps in, y'all. Got to get the steps in. But sticking to the point, y'all, your enemies are now humbled. They realized that you was too much to handle. They realized that you was anointed. They realized that you were favored. They realized it, all right? But I want to start this off, y'all, with a scripture. Okay, we ain't gonna wait till the middle of the video to get to it. We're gonna go ahead and knock it out for all my true Bible thumpers. Okay, Proverbs, I'm sorry, y'all. I've been reading Proverbs all day and also last night too. But 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 6 says this right here, family. Therefore, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. Okay, let me say it louder for my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 6 says, therefore humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. The problem is, y'all, they never humble themselves, so they never get exalted. They never get uplifted. Okay, they never get elevated. Why? Because they feel as if they are too good to humble themselves. And so oftentimes, y'all, you have a lot of these people, your enemies, haters, family, friends, associates, co-workers, whoever it is that you are connected to, walking around here cocky, okay? Walking around here overly confident. There's nothing wrong with confidence, but being overly confident, you're falling into the aspect of being arrogant, cocky. I'm better than you, right? And so they never get exalted. But sticking to the point, y'all, this is why this scripture is so important, because many people feel as if they would never have to humble themselves. Y'all seen what happened to King Nebuchadnezzar? Y'all seen what happened to Pharaoh? Okay, y'all seen what happened to any of the kings who thought that they were God, who felt as if they were the Most High. Y'all seen what happened to them. They were humble, not by choice. They didn't say, I'm going to go ahead and humble myself. No, they didn't say that. They said, I am God. They said that I am the one who can make it rain, the sunshine. I can determine your destiny. I can determine whatever happens to you. And they could to a degree. But what they can't do is touch God's chosen. That's what they can't do, y'all. So let's go ahead and get directly into this, y'all. But before we do so, y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. So let's get to the first one, y'all. Number one, the reason why your enemies are humble is gonna be this, y'all. They felt untouchable. Okay? Let me say it louder for my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, they felt untouchable. Okay? And so going back to King Nebuchadnezzar, going back to Pharaoh, those kings of those times, or those centuries rather, they felt untouchable. Okay, they felt as if, water wasn't wet, fat meat wasn't greasy. Okay, that's what they thought. And so with that being said, y'all, anybody who feel as if they are untouchable, they are highly mistaken. Somebody drop in the comments and say, you are highly mistaken. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say you are highly mistaken. Anybody who feel as if they are untouchable, they are highly mistaken. Okay? Because I can be touched. You can be touched. Okay? Your enemies can be touched. Anybody can be touched because we are human beings. None of us have, magic superpowers to where we can turn invisible whenever our fate comes to us. No, when karma find your address, you're going to get served what you are deserved. Just like UPS, it's going to say delivered. It's going to say delivered. And however you have treated people, however you have acted towards people, whatever you have put out into the universe, you're going to receive much more than what you put out. Trust that. So sticking to the point, y'all, they have felt untouchable, and now you are witnessing everybody who laughed at you, everybody who mocked you. You are witnessing everyone who felt as if nothing can happen to them. You're witnessing it happen. All right? Y'all, it was multi-millionaires who felt as if the money they had would always protect them. They thought that since they had multiple properties, it will always be there. They felt as if, I built these assets, nothing's going to happen. Okay, cool. Well, if God giveth, he can also take it. So it could be a case, y'all, to where natural disasters just break out. All them houses gone. He couldn't even control it. It was a crisis, right? Banks can shut down. Well, if all your money in the bank, how can you use it, right? Well, I have assets. Well, let's just say that those assets are no longer valuable and they no longer produce revenue for you. What you gonna do? Well, you're witnessing a person or people who are being humble. It doesn't matter what you build or create. Okay, we don't own anything on this world or in this world. Everything we're leasing, everything we're renting. Your husband, your wife, even if they don't have any infidelity that is involved, you're still renting them, because what happens if they pass away prematurely? What happens? You're renting it. It's not yours. You don't own anybody or anything. I own my house. No, you don't. You still got to pay property taxes. Don't pay the property taxes. Let's just see if your property get seized. Okay? So we are all renters of God's resources. None of us own it. All right? None of us own it. And so what people have to realize is that you can't feel untouchable, because you will be touched and you can get touched. Somebody drop in the comments and say anybody can get touched. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say anybody can get touched. All right? This is true. Now, number two, y'all, it's going to be this, family. They depended on self and not God. This right here is a big one. Oh, yeah, y'all, this right here is huge. Somebody drop in the comments and say, depend on God. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, depend on God. See, they depended on self and not God. Now, I know it's going to be I would say a contradicting distinction. Let me make this clear. It is okay to be independent. It is. It is okay to be self-reliant. But within you being independent, within you being self-reliant, you must understand that you got to keep God first throughout all of your endeavors. Okay, you got to keep God first within anything that you do. You got to keep God first. And so what people forget is, yes, you can be independent. Yes, you can be self-reliant, but do you got God first? Yes, you can have multi-millions. Yes, you can have a big house, but do you have God first? And most people will answer that question and say, I think so. I mean, I don't know, right? Very unsure of themselves. So when a person is depending on themselves and not on God, God is going to show you why humans are no match for the world, his powers, your enemies, okay? Or just no match for anything that he has created. Because in order for you to operate it, in order for you to use it, you have to have his authority, his permission. So who are you to say, I built this and I did this, when he put it here years ago? People don't understand that, family. People don't understand it. So with that being said, y'all, your enemies are being humble right now, okay? Because they depended on self. Yeah, it was cool when they pulled up in a Bentley. It was all cool when they had their nice flashy job. It was cool when they had their money. It was cool when they had their time to shine. And you were just sitting here like, you know what? I know I don't got it all. I know I may not be the smartest right now. I may not be the biggest right now. I may not have the most status. I may not have the biggest social media following. I know I may not have been unpublished my book, okay, like everybody else did, or like this particular person did. I know I could do more of myself, but you know what? I got God first, right? I got God first. Understand something, y'all, that goes a long way. It goes a long way, y'all. But sticking to the point, family, they depended on self and not God. Once again, he can give it, but he can also take it, okay? Moving on to the next one, family, is going to be number 3. That is, you've been exalted, okay? You've been exalted. And so as we all know, those who are not humble will be humble, and those who are humble will be exalted through the power of who? The power of God. Everybody drop in the comments and say the power of God, right? Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say the power of God, okay? You will be exalted. When you think about Moses, you know, he was exalted. Why? Because he took the initiative to figure out, who am I? What is my calling? What is my purpose? Why am I here? Okay? That's powerful, y'all. Don't let that creep by you. Who am I? What is my calling? Why am I here? And once he answered those 3 questions, God came to him in a burning bush and told him, this is your assignment. This is why I have anointed you, O Holy One from Israel. This is why I have anointed you. I don't care where your hometown was. I don't care if you was in Egypt. I don't care if you was, you know, the stepbrother to Pharaoh. If I call you, then you will come. Right? This is why he says to approach and say that you were sent by the I am. Powerful words, family. Powerful words. And so he was exalted because he was obedient. He was exalted because he was obedient. I know it's a lot of people, y'all, who say, man, you don't need to be humble, man. No, man, you don't need to be humble. Because if you're too humble, you'll forget who you are. And I think that is true to an extent. Okay? But I would never forget who was the one who created me and who was the one who made me everything that I am. Right? You can't forget about the I am. And so it's nothing wrong with being humble, because there's reward behind being humble, right? It says that the meek will inherit the earth. A lot of people forget about that, all right? Not the naughty, not the haughty, okay? Not the evil. And guess what? The wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. A lot of people forget about that. So understand something, y'all. All righteous ones have a destiny, right? All righteous ones have wealth that is stored for them. It is up to them to know exactly who they are, all right? So here's the thing, y'all. You've been humble and you've been exalted. The same people who had more than you, okay? The same people who looked at you and looked down on you. Listen, family, you are not doing better than them. And as y'all can see, y'all, this morning stroll is everything. I got up a little earlier, y'all, because I said, you know what? Number one, I want to get the content out a little earlier. But number 2, I said, man, it's cool at the time that you're getting up, but just imagine what you can get done. As y'all can see, y'all, it's so much quieter. It is so much quieter. And so sometimes you got to make that sacrifice, y'all. Sacrifice is key, right? I'm sure y'all probably sacrificing time right now because, you know, kids going back to school, right? And I don't know where y'all at, but, you know, I know around the Atlanta area, kids are going back to school. So I know y'all got to get up early anyway. And y'all probably got to sacrifice because y'all got to go to work and stuff like that. So I understand that. But the key is what I'm saying is, y'all, is that we getting so much done. Listen, y'all, no barking from the dog, no smog. And mama cooked the breakfast with no hog. Soon as I said no dog, there you go barking. I told, hey, y'all, the spirit real. Y'all gonna listen to me now. I'm telling you, the spirit is real. But sticking to the point, y'all, you have been exalted. Okay, I think that's real crazy. As soon as I said no dog, is that an owl? Hey, y'all, we out here in the wild, wild west. But you have been exalted, you know, and you know, he does that, y'all, to build tables in front of your enemies. People who tried to starve you are going to be the same individuals who watch God feed you. And see, God don't just feed you, y'all. God can be a little petty. He don't just feed you. He give you a feast. He give you a feast, right? He gives you a feast. And see, it's better to eat crumbs with bums than to share steak with snakes. So you probably think the people who I need to eat with is people who have just as much as me. Sometimes, y'all, you can have a loyal bum. And let me make that clear. Let me make it clear, because I know it sounds crazy. What I mean by a loyal bum is maybe a person don't have it all. Maybe a person don't have as much, but they got your back, right? They have your best interests, okay? And of course, y'all, I'm not calling them literally bums. It's just a figurative speech, but what I'm saying is they probably don't have as much as you. They don't got the vision. They don't have the will. But what they do have is your back. And you don't find loyal people every day, okay? The reason why I say this, family, is because when you get exalted, you have to understand who to eat with, right? You got to understand who to eat with. That is over half of the battle. Because if you share a steak with a snake, they can slither in and take everything you have, all right? A snake gonna be a snake regardless. But anyway, y'all, moving on to the next one, family, is gonna be number 4, and that is haughty eyes, right? Let me say it louder for my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, haughty eyes, right? Thinking that you are superior to people, looking down on people, that stuff will catch up with you. Okay, when I read, I want to say Exodus. I think that's where Moses, that's the scripture where Moses was in, and you know, the whole Pharaoh situation, the plagues to Egypt and stuff like that. When I think about that, y'all, I see how haughty Pharaoh was, because although he considered it, he still acted on his ego, and that was a form of showing his haughty eyes, right? He's already challenging who sent Moses. And God is displeased with that. Don't challenge authority, especially that type of authority. Now, if you are an entrepreneur challenging authority, hey, I got you. Hey, do what you want to do. Or if you somebody who working a 9 to 5, and you like, man, I'm tired of this job, whatever. Okay, maybe you got to challenge authority a little bit. But when it comes to the Most High, don't challenge that authority. Okay, you go challenge Marcus them and Boss Bob, but don't challenge Jehovah Yahweh, El Shaddai Elohim, okay? And so Pharaoh actually, he challenged the authority. And this is when the plagues got sent, and he lost his only begotten son, or he lost his only son, okay? So haughty eyes, y'all, is something that God hates, because people try to sit high and look low on you. I sit high and mighty and look low. But how can you sit high and mighty when you didn't even create the world? How can you sit high and mighty when you didn't even create the resources that you have? How can you sit high and mighty when you are struggling just like me? You just don't show it. Or maybe you were just struggling last year and now you're doing a little better, and you think you better than me. Come on now. So haughty eyes is something that God is always displeased with. And so being that they had haughty eyes, now they are actually being humble. They have no choice but to be humble. They got to shut up. They got to shut up. They got to hush. Okay? Moving on to the next one, family, is going to be number 5. We're really getting that work in too, y'all, because this right here is not too hot, right? It's not too hot, but it still feel good out here. But the sun is beaming just enough, right? Just enough. So this right here is probably the best it done been, y'all, if I'm being honest. I mean, it feel like I'm out here by myself, except for this same barking dog, all right? But anyway, Number 5, family, it's gonna be this, y'all. They try to destroy you, okay? Let me say it louder for my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, they try to destroy you, all right? Now, as cliche as this may sound, this is real, y'all. You know, people try to destroy you mentally. People try to destroy you physically. People try to destroy your character. People try to destroy your reputation. People try to destroy your mind. People try to destroy anything that was connected to you because they hate the fact that you are chosen, elected, and they are not. You are chosen for greatness. Okay, you are chosen for success. You are chosen to have love. You are chosen to fall into your calling. You are chosen. All right? I mean, everybody know it. They knew it before you did. Okay? They knew it before you did. All right? But you got to understand something, y'all. They will attempt to destroy you because of the value that you bring to the world. They don't want God's seed to sprout out into the fruit that it was created to be. They don't want you to sprout out to the tree that you was created to be, right? You was created to be productive, and you're going to bear many fruit. And so before you get there, people want to destroy that. It's almost like having something as fragile as an egg, right? You know, an egg. And when you got that egg, you have to be very careful with it, okay? Because it's so fragile. It hasn't hatched and turned into the chicken or the little chick that it was destined to be, right? I can't remember what episode it was. I think it was That's So Raven. I want to say that, or it was one of those sitcoms. I think it was on Disney. I think it was That's So Raven. I could be wrong, but they had an episode where they had to protect the egg as if it was his baby. And that's the same thing with you. You got to protect your calling as if it's your baby. You got to protect your dreams as if it's your baby. You got to protect your mission, you know, your God-given mission as if it's your baby, right? Because it has yet to hatch. It has yet to hatch, okay? So you still need some development. You still need some work. And people can't wait to crush your egg. Don't let them crush your egg, y'all, okay? Somebody drop in the comments and say, you won't crush me. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say you won't crush me, all right? But as y'all can see, y'all, once again, we outside on the stroll, y'all. Let's go ahead and get to this recap, family. And of course, you know, I got to get to the jog after this. But number 1, y'all, they felt untouchable, okay? Number 2, they depended on self and not on God. Number 3, you've been exalted, okay? Number 4, haughty eyes. And number 5, they tried to destroy you, all right? Once again, y'all, somebody drop in the comments and say, you can't destroy me. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say you can't destroy me. But with that being said, y'all already know how we do. If y'all would like, y'all can purchase any one of my Yes Sir t-shirts, book any one of my, purchase any one of my books, or book a one-on-one session with me. And of course, y'all can enroll into the social influence course. I see some people have been enrolling, and that's great. Just want to say, one of the best investments that you'll ever make, especially if you're trying to become a self-published author, build up your own platform, you know, whatever the case is. One of the best investments that you can make, because I really break it down point by point, step by step, module by module, on how to build up your own social media presence, build your own ministry, or whatever you want to call it, and become a self-published author so you can tell your story, or just, you know, be positioned as an expert in your field, y'all. Definitely something that you should do to increase your social influence. But sticking to the point, y'all, your enemies are humble, okay? So y'all keep that in mind and understand that you always got to keep a rich mentality. Peace. What's good, family? It's your boy Reno. Check this out, y'all. I just dropped my social influence course, okay? Where I show you how to build up your social media platform as well as become a self published author. Understand what I'm saying, y'all? If you want to leverage your expertise, okay, you got to publish a book. But not only that, if you want to get popping and build your community, you got to build up your social media platform. And so I put that all in one course, okay? And so all you got to do is go to the link in my bio, all right? And drop in the comments, social influence. If you want to build up your social influence, click that link in the bio, and we're going to get you popping. Keep a rich mentality.